Hi, I'm Yael Tamar. I'm the CEO and co-founder at DIBS Capital. I live in Tel Aviv, and our company is based in the United States. DIBS stands for Digital Investment Banking as a Service. DIBS is solving market inefficiency. We believe there are $13 trillion in founder investor equity in pre-IPO companies that is unable to find buyers. At the moment, the market provides an opportunity for employees and early investors to sell their options or equity to new investors. And those marketplaces, in fact, exist and service about $500 billion every year. Now, this solution is not scalable and operates almost as a flea market. Basically, the way you used to sell used books on Amazon. Right now, we are scaling that operation. DIBS is providing investment banking as a service to transform the sort of distribution that private equity has right now, which is similar to selling used books on Amazon, to what you have today on Amazon, which is a huge marketplace with affiliates, with efficient services, and so on and so forth. So by that analogy, what DIBS is providing is a network of brokers, investors, and assets that is able to operate in an efficient manner and provide a market for private equity. The idea for the company came from my and my co-founder's background. My background is in capital markets. I started at a broker-dealer on Wall Street, continued through M&A and private equity, structured products, working at Ernst & Young on IPOs. And throughout my career, I've seen public companies being able to use all kinds of efficient tools to create liquidity and to distribute their stocks. Of course, because they are on an exchange. Now, for private equity companies, solutions are minimal. In fact, I've been an entrepreneur several times over, and so were my co-founders. And it's always very painful to raise capital, even for companies that are very successful and in high demand. There's always this door-to-door process. There's this inefficiencies associated with the process. And as a founder who's been running for quite a few years for a company that has not gone public yet, you simply don't have a way to sell your shares and, leverage some of your some of the work that you've been doing for the last 5-6 years. So a lot of founders simply want to sell some of their shares and buy a house or invest that into some sort of asset or business. So the market simply doesn't offer a good way to do that. And that's what DIBS Capital came here to solve. So all of us as entrepreneurs collectively understand the pain, and us as professionals in the financial industry also understand the solution. It's an interesting question because the co-founding team goes back about 12, 13 years to the first time I had a startup called Tap Tank, which was a part of a certain accelerator in Tel Aviv. That's where I met one of my current co-founders, Amit Cherniak, who's the CFO at DIBS, and he was one of our advisors. Now, my co-founder of that startup, Alicia Outridge, has joined our team as a CPO, which means Chief Product Officer, after a long career she had, having been an executive or executive level at Meta, and also CPO, CTO at a public company recently in the emerging product and music space. And so she has, obviously we have a great chemistry in working together. And our final co-founder, Itai David, in fact, he was one of another startups in the accelerator, and that year, I think it was 2010 or 2011. And basically, they've developed an amazing parking application that has subsequently been sold to a larger company which deals with AI and parking. And so, he was able to join another startup. So that's how we ended up working together. So it's interesting that we actually have a long history of either working together on various fronts, or working alongside each other and trusting each other. So I think that's what makes us a great team. I think we're most proud of having started this industry and having continuously been one of the biggest experts when it comes to compliance and when it comes to new emerging technologies. So we were behind the first digital securities issuance, which was done for St. Regis Aspen Ski Resort in the United States. And that was the first time we placed a financial product, a security on Web3. And since then, we've issued a number of other tokens and have also invented several concepts, standards. And but in fact, we did the first smart contract, which essentially created this public but secure and secured registration of shares on Web3, and which allows essentially to trade securities privately, right, outside of an exchange. And since then, basically that approach has been standardized, and we've involved a number of large audit companies like Ernst & Young and Deloitte, which audited our code. So we established quite a few firsts in our industry, in fact, and we've always been at the forefront, again, because of our background, and which is very unique, and it's on the intersection of finance, investment banking, capital markets, technologies, and Web3, right? So this unique combination of our team is what's led us to achieve these really exciting milestones. When we first started, we were pretty much the only tokenization company focused on securities and specifically real estate. Since then, there have been quite a few companies that joined this space. And since we've tried, every single approach and every single product and audience and so on and so forth, right, the general startup approach of testing the market, we've found out that the best approach for selling securities is, in fact, using brokers, using broker-dealers. And no wonder, and you can add thousands, hundreds of thousands investors on the platform, and you're still going to be much smaller than traditional exchanges, right? When we started in this market, we were the only tokenization platform focused on securities. Eventually, a few other companies joined the space and established marketplaces with a number of investors, a number of products that they have since then tokenized and attempted to sell. Now, our company is focused on scalability first and foremost. And we decided that having our own marketplace is not a scalable solution. And instead, we have become the state-of-the-art financial platform that is scaling distribution of private securities. We're able to provide a platform for brokers who have a great number of investors as well as clients that they're distributing, and allow them to become investment banks. So from broker to an investment bank with a number of tools that only large investment banks like BlackRock, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and so on and so forth are able to use today. So tools that deal with distribution via multiple and affiliate brokers, tools that deal with aggregating products into ETFs, and tools with lending against financial products. So a lot of different things that are now accessible only to large investment banks, we're able to provide to individual brokers. So our next biggest milestone is really to scale our network. in order for us to scale the distribution, we need to find a way for brokers to get excited, to add other brokers that they will affiliate with. And it's not an easy crowd, right? We're talking about individuals that might be set in their way, and using new technologies in a new market is something that sometimes can be scary. So you know this from looking at other emerging tech, right? That can be enormously successful. And that's why, on the one hand, it is a blue ocean where we have lots of opportunities and having lots of market players, a huge problem, a huge gap, right? But what we've seen, in similar situations, you usually need some sort of an application that crosses the chasm, right? There is, kind of almost like two shores and the river in between that is, in turmoil, and you kind of need to cross that, build a bridge. And then once you're on the other side, once you kind of got on this wave, you understand how we can bring new clients in a cheap way, get them to, use the platform optimally. And once we scale that, we're able to create, a huge new market with lots of opportunities, not only for our platform, but also for our platform's participants and players and other fintech participants, because we are creating investment banking as a service. You can use our platform as an inherent component as an investment banker of any kind, anywhere. And there's lots of applications you can build on top of this. Just like for banking as a service, right? That enabled so many new fintech providers, right? So many new fintech companies and startups. Now that you can, add a bank account and bank service, right, to your application, or like payment as a service, right? Imagine having investment banking tools as an asset manager or as a broker. You can now add on top of that AI and trading applications. You can add data applications. You can sell completely new products. You can sell portfolios. You can provide services and mortgages and lending. So that's basically what we're looking to create. We're looking to create a new space, new possibilities, where everybody is excited about being able to create a new world of trading and participate in it, right? Just create an application on top of this new kind of more decentralized global NASDAQ. Please look at other companies' successes, and it's no question about it. Strategic investors are extremely helpful in the startup development. So we are definitely looking to add strategic investors in our next round. And I like to refer to Euronext, which is one of the more successful platforms, pan-European exchange, which received an investment from a number of European banks and investment banks, which obviously wanted to solve their own problem, selling and cross-selling securities within different countries in the European Union. And they've succeeded, and they've succeeded big time. So if we're able to bring stakeholders that will find our solution useful for their purposes of being able to offload financial products that are private without, public listing for them, because not every product is meant to be publicly listed. So once we're able to solve the problem of either networks of investment banks or angels or syndicators that are able to leverage each other and raise money together, create an exciting new space that they will earn from, right? So we're able to provide special earning potential. That's a holy grail, and that is our strategy, is to bring these stakeholders that will basically be able to build what they need in order to emerge market leaders.